What's good, y'all? Happy St. Patrick's Day. It don't look like it, but I got some green on somewhere. Oh, shoes! I got green shoes. Don't pinch me. Let's get right into it. So I had a comment on my video about not riding faster than your guardian angel can fly, and someone they asked me, what tips I have for new riders, and that's a great question. So we're gonna do a video about that today, and this is 16 tips that I have for all the new riders. Alright, so my first tip for all new riders is do not buy a new bike. Like, do not. It's a horrible idea. You're probably gonna lay it down at some point. So I would just avoid buying new, y'all. It's nobody wants to lay down their new baby. I bought new when I first started riding. It was a bad idea. Is it cool to have a brand new bike? Yeah, it's awesome. In fact, I'm riding a brand new bike right now. We got like 1,000 miles on this beast. But when you wreck it, it's even more devastating than if you wreck, something older. Now, don't buy clapped out either. Get something that's decent but not brand new. Alright, get good insurance, because as with number one, you're gonna lay it down. Like, at some point in time, you're gonna drop it. Maybe not everybody. I mean, there are exceptions, I'm sure, but almost all new riders drop it, and even some experienced riders do. I'm not saying you're gonna wreck it. It's like the first time I dropped a bike, it was my fault. I was being dumb. So I was like, I had it parked on the sidewalk in front of my house. I started drinking. I was like, all right, time to pull it in the garage. So I back up the sidewalk, because I lived on a hill, so my driveway was like a hill. So I back up the sidewalk, so I'm backing out there. I'm kind of like backing up, hit the front brake, back up, hit the front brake to stop, just goofing. Well, one of the times I did that, I lost my front wheel. It was right over. I was devastated. The bike was brand new. So that's just my advice, y'all. Alright, I recommend riding alone at first. And here's the reason why. Because especially with sport bikes, there's a lot of pride involved. Everybody trying to outdo each other, and just all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's easy to get caught up and right outside your limits, you know what I mean? So I definitely recommend riding alone at first. Group rides are cool, and also a newbie around group rides can be dangerous to everyone, including the noob. So that's what I recommend there. Assume every car is trying to run you over, because a lot of them are. So let's say I got up here, I got a car, see this guy, I assumed he was going to pull out in front of me. See, he didn't even stop. Oh man, he just made my point. Y'all see that? And they do that. They will look at you, and you'll see them almost physically just see them think, screw him, he'll stop, he's just a bike, it ain't gonna hurt me none. But then they'll complain about how 5 speed I could hurt them. We're not, that's a topic for another day. I think y'all have seen the smoke starting to come out my ears just with thinking about that. Yeah, hey, thanks there, buddy. Yeah, see, and he almost just ran right through that stop sign right in front of me, and that would be catastrophic to me. And on that note, stay vigilant. Always keep looking out, keep your head on a swivel. I stay in my mirrors. I recommend not removing your mirrors, even for experienced riders. But I don't know, some people are younger, got better backs than me, don't mind doing this number before everything. Me, I stay in my mirrors, and I keep awareness of the cars around me at all times. Alright, so the next 3 kind of lump into one, but for the sake of making my title sound good, we are gonna make them separate. So the first one is always set your own pace. Never ride faster than you're comfortable with. I mean, even if, say you're on the highway, the speed limit is 75. You're new, you're just not quite comfortable with that. Screw what everyone else thinks, man. Slow down. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll pay the price if you get it wrong. And it's better to be slow and you know, have people laugh at you or whatever to not be, than to have them laugh at you because you wrecked because you didn't know what you were doing. So, and then the next one is don't try to keep up with others, man. There's a lot of experienced riders that'll ride, you know, ride fast. A lot of people, they'll go faster you're comfortable with, man, and it's a horrible idea to try to keep up with them, especially when there's traffic around or it's a curvy road. I mean, because practice goes a long ways and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, just always go with what you're comfortable with. And the third one is a pet peeve: don't worry about chicken strips. Who cares if you got a whole family pack of chicken strips? And for those who don't know, chicken strips are the unused portion of your tire. A lot of riders like to clown on it, and oh, your kickstand leans your bike more, and you, so what? It'll come. It will come with experience. You know, I mean, I still have, actually this bike doesn't have much for chicken strips. My 636 has some like chicken strips like that. I don't care. I can lean it farther. I'm on the street, man. I'm not trying to eat up the whole tire. If you're at a track, that's a different story. But honestly, so with that, like, if you can get the speed without leaning your bike, it's actually optimal. So the chicken strip thing is crazy that people go off that, man. It's crazy because it's such a it's such a pet peeve of mine. It's so toxic in the bike world, guys, like, for real. But yeah, don't worry about chicken strips, man. Ride your own ride. Don't let no one clown you, and if they do, that's on them, not you. As a new rider, you definitely should not be leaning all the way. There's a lot of experience that goes with it. And with that point of the chicken strips, is a good thing to watch is Twist of the Wrist 2 by Keith Code, the Cornering Bible. It's actually on YouTube. I'll include a screenshot of one I found. It has like Thai translation or something, so don't mind that. I don't know why I can't find the regular version, but it is in English, and this is what it looks like. So watch that. It'll teach you like so much about cornering, like it's crazy. Alright, the next one I got for you is practice. Seat time. It cannot be said enough. I mean, ultimately, that's how you're going to get better, is seat time and practice. And so by practice, I don't just mean ride on public roads. Honestly, for the first little bit, go find an empty parking lot and just practice riding around, start and stopping, maybe leaning a little bit if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, just start with the basics. Depends on what you already have down, but definitely practice. I mean, you can't practice enough. I've been riding, I think, 8 years now, and I still practice a lot. I mean, well, I also ride every day, so that's a form of practicing. But I will occasionally go find an empty parking lot and just do circles and figure eights and all the fun stuff in it. The next one is don't grip your bar. Don't grip down on your bars. Keep loose, you know. Like, see, look, you can see my hand, my fingers are really not, like, I'm not really gripping it, you know what I mean? By gripping your bars, you increase the chance to lose control, to get the death wobble, you know, all that. Like, gripping down on it, and don't lock your elbows. Keep your elbows slightly bent. Keep it loose, you know, keep it loose on here. It's very important. I think another very important thing is one finger braking, or two finger if you're into it. But see how I'm not using the whole hand? One finger. With the clutch, I don't know, I like to do the whole hand for the clutch, but on my 636 I have the shorty levers, I two finger my clutch. That's all preference. But the brake, it's super important. You don't just and the reason you do that is so you don't panic brake. Whoa! When I first started riding, someone stopped in front of me really hard, and I grabbed a handful of front brake, and it's actually the only stoppie I've ever done on a bike, and I'd only been riding a couple weeks, and it was terrifying. Luckily I came out of it all right, but you learn that it's easier not to panic brake. It's harder to squeeze it real hard like that. I mean, it's just a good principle. Plus, that way, if something, you know, usually you're braking, like maybe you're braking because someone stopped in front of you, that way you still have a grip on your bars. See what I'm saying? That way you're not I mean, how are you going to grip on there? You could lose, you know, all that. So just good principle. All right, the next one is lane positioning at stoplights, because nobody wants to become the meat in a car sandwich. So watch, see how I'm kind of keeping right here as I stop, and then I stay in gear, clutch engage. See, I have an out and I stay in my mirrors. If someone comes up behind me and they're not going to stop, I can go between those two cars. Oh wow, lady. So on that note, don't pick fights with cars. The slap in the mirrors, the road rage, all that is a horrible idea. I mean, look, you're on this little bitty 450-pound machine. That's what my bike weighs with fluids. They're in a 3,500, 4,500, 5,500 pound. I mean, there's quite a bit more weight behind them. That's like picking a fight with Mike Tyson. Yeah, you hear that, Jake Paul? That's what that's like. Don't be the little guy picking a fight with the big guy. It's a horrible idea. Last but not least, and I saved the best for last, gear, guys. Gear, gear, gear. The road is a very, very unforgiving surface. Me, I will ride in a t-shirt, and every once in a blue moon I'll wear shorts, but not very often. Mainly the shorts is because I don't want to burn my legs on my engine. Pants will protect a little bit against the road, but I mean, there is riding gear out there. I don't personally have any. But I always, and I mean always, wear a helmet and gloves and shoes. Don't be out there riding in shorts and flip-flops, man. I mean, there could be some pretty serious consequences. The helmet, I think, is obvious reasons. Protect your biggest asset, your brain. For most of us, some people, that might not be their biggest asset, but I'm gonna see here, going back to it, see the lane positioning, how I have an out. And see, I'm in my mirror, and I like to squeeze my brake a few times as people are coming up behind me. I have one of the brake lights that flashes a few times when you first squeeze it, so that gets their attention. Just let them know I'm here. Anyways, gear, yeah, so you protect your nugget. And with gloves, what's the first thing someone does when they're flung into the road? You put your hands out in front of you to stop it, right? Well, these gloves are going to protect your hands from turning into skeletal hands. I just wanted to be a fool. Sorry. I'm like telling new riders what not to do, and then I do something that you shouldn't be doing. But he was just kind of cruising. I was just wondering, I don't know. Don't mind me. I'm having a good time. But yeah, I always gear up. A lot of people are all the gear all the time. I mean, they'll wear the riding coat and all that. Me, this is Texas. It gets hot, and I'll take a little bit of road rash over dying in that coat, you know. So, but if you're a new rider, wear the riding jacket, wear the gloves, wear the helmet, wear the pants, maybe even get some riding pants, you know. They have good padded ones out there that look good, they feel good. They have riding shoes. I prefer skater shoes myself, but I've never had a pair of riding shoes. I've actually been eyeballing the Day Nessie ones. And that is my video on, you know, tips for new riders. Hope y'all enjoyed.